All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to college football fans all around America. We are back. This is the official Hammer Time podcast. I am your host, as always, Kate Harper, and alongside me is my weekly duo, Mr. Jake, and you guys already know. It's reaction day. This should be fun. Well, we have a little bit. We can talk about some of the conference championships, obviously. We can talk about the final seeding, some upcoming stuff. Should be a good reaction. So, yeah. How we doing? First of all, terrible betting weekend.
Awful. Genuinely. Unders go 9-0, which is unheard of. And then,
boring.
super boring college football weekend outside of Kennesaw, Jacksonville State, and then the 2 night games on Saturday. So 3 of the 9 games were good, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Pretty much already know what's essentially happened within the rankings, which we will get into. As far as first, do we need to talk about the games? As far as like anything highlighting, I mean, obviously we all watched. As far as who impressed, or I guess or whatever, who you're worried about, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things like nothing Friday. The group of fives are the group of fives. Like, I think you're just going to get what you get with them, and we're going to find out with them. So I don't really want to highlight those two. Like James Madison winning, super cool. Wish he would have scored another touchdown at the end so I could have covered, but it's whatever. Dude, that could have gotten the over and JMU spread,
everything.
I think.
It was team total, it was full game over, and it was spread. So it was bad.
The two biggest games, though, I think until Alabama gets healthy, like it's going to be really hard to play them. I know we'll get into the rankings and the matchups later, but like even with them playing Oklahoma, which is an inept offense, until they figure out something off, because offensively the past month they've been terrible and it's been slowly getting worse and worse. And I think a lot of that has to do with the offensive line not being able to run the ball. And then Ty Simpson's had a back issue for the past like month. So I think that's really shown the past couple weeks. I think Georgia looked really dominant defensively, which definitely they've improved game in and game out. The offense is still leaving a lot to be desired, which Bama's defense is good, but when you're looking at potential matchups later down the road, that's something interesting. Big Ten championship game, I think both those teams are just really good. I think Ohio State may have disappointed a lot of people, but I think that they stay true to everything that they have been all year, which is a very slow, methodical offense that doesn't score touchdowns when they get to the red zone, and an elite defense, which is exactly what we saw. And the one thing that Indiana did well is they didn't allow them to get explosive touchdowns. They gave them explosives, but it was from the 20 to the 20. It wasn't touchdowns, which I think ultimately won Indiana the game, really. It was Indiana's defense 100%. And I think that solidified what we didn't know about Indiana now, is that defense is legit. And the offense,
we really didn't know. Yeah.
And Mendoza made plays, which was huge. Like, he won himself the Heisman on Saturday. And the stat line doesn't look great, but if you watch that game, he was in full command the entire second half, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Those are my biggest takeaways from Saturday. There just wasn't a whole lot. I mean, only 4 of the teams in the field that have a chance to win it played, which we can get into a whole discussion about conference championship weekend and what that may look like going forward. But for right now, like there's just not much you're going to learn.
Yeah, I don't really think I want to say that I'm more impressed with Georgia than I am worried about Bama. I think I can say.
I think if both teams are fully healthy, they're two very scary teams. It's
Yeah,
just the getting healthy part for both of them
it could
because
be different. Yeah,
and it's all going to depend on matchups, which we're going to discuss here in a little bit because I know we've both placed futures and there's some other things I want to place as well that we'll talk about. But
right.
I mean, I agree. Bama losing by 21 did not like show me that they didn't deserve to be in the playoff. That whole narrative was dumb. Like it was stupid.
I don't. Yeah, no.
That people calling for that are casual fans. Like
It's
you
what we
need to.
said literally the week before. It's doesn't change anything.
They were the number
It would have
one
been
seed
nice
in
if
the
they won
ACC.
for our
Yeah,
future, but I didn't
would have been
really
great.
expect any. I didn't expect 21-point blowout. I don't even call it a blowout. I didn't expect them to lose by 21, but I didn't really expect a ton because Georgia's one of the hottest teams right now. I don't really think
Yeah, and
that's
I mean Bama.
that's hard. That's a tough team when you're down already, guys. And
If
yeah,
anything, it actually kind of impresses me more with Alabama's defense because I thought that would be a track meet because of the injuries Alabama had defensively and throughout the
also
game that
true.
they had defensively. I mean, they had their corner went out halfway through the game, and they just
Also true.
cycled a new guy in there. Like LT Overton doesn't play. Um, I thought maybe the interior defensive line was not great because I mean Georgia's center was out, and you'd think they'd have an advantage there, and that just didn't really come to fruition.
I think the entire season they've been underwhelming in the trenches aspect from what we expected, at least at the start of the year, which
And
we were very
yeah,
wrong on. But
and I don't know if I said it in the preseason pod. I don't remember, but I talked about how bad the offensive line might be again because it
yeah,
wasn't good last year. They returned the
no,
same guys. Like it wasn't like these guys were going to have monumental upgrades throughout an offseason. Like they were always going to struggle. I didn't think they would struggle this bad running the ball was my one thing that I missed. So
right. I also didn't expect him to lose Jam Miller like that, though. Like, obviously that does put a wrench into things, but it doesn't necessarily
throughout the
save.
passing game, maybe.
Yeah,
But I mean running game,
yeah.
no.
If that, I mean, it's not going to save you from -6, whatever it was.
-3 rushing yards. First time since, or lowest total since 1940.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's actually nuts. Good on Georgia's part, though, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as Big Ten goes, I'm not worried for either side. I didn't expect
No.
Ohio State to lose, although I was very wrong on that game. I will gladly hold both hands up and say that they are, as in Indiana, they are the team that we didn't think they were. Again, pretty much. They definitely made a statement, and me, along with a lot of other people, were very wrong. So I'm glad we wear that one. But then again, hopefully you can do it again for the next 2 or 3 games, maybe. That'd be a really cool story, obviously, but
Gotta win
they
3.
don't exactly have the easiest of path as a 1 seed now, no matter who they play. So, which we'll get into. We can talk about matchups or futures,
Sure.
I guess.
Oh, you want to start with the committee? You want to do that later? You have to talk about it.
I know.
Okay. We can do that later.
That's what they're here for. We can make them wait. It's okay.
Okay. Well, me.
If you want,
I'm not.
skip to
I don't
the
have
end.
anything in this.
If you want, you can skip to the end. But yeah, matchups as far as the bracket goes. If I can get it pulled up.
Yeah, take your time, dude.
Totally. It's not like we're on a time crunch at all. It's not like I got to go like Christmas shopping or anything right after this. It's all right.
No, you're fine.
As far as, first of all, the scheduling times of this, honestly, I hate. I think we have like the complete like game times just all wrong. It's just dumb.
No, they definitely have it right.
No, I meant
I'll
like I don't
I'll
agree with
I'll
the group of
explain why.
fives at the. Okay.
I'll explain why.
Let me see. We can just go from top to bottom. So 5 through 12, obviously, we have James Madison and Oregon, which is the Friday night game. Or no,
No,
that's the Saturday night game.
Saturday night. Yeah.
Um, winner that plays Texas Tech, obviously. Winner, yeah.
Do you just want to do like we just pick a bracket really quick? Like we'll just pick the games.
We not necessarily just pick, but just kind of like preview as to like, I guess, yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Just
I'm
like
trying to place
looking
a few.
ahead, just because I mean I already did. I did place my futures. Talking in existence, obviously, if the 5 beats the 12, Oregon Tech is probably. I dare say that's probably my favorite game. That's probably my favorite game. That's going to be my favorite quarterfinal game for sure.
I will say this. I think every quarterfinal game could be really good.
It'll be amazing.
And with it being December 31st, January 1st, I think that'll be really fun. On paper, of course. We had the same thing last year. So
Sure.
not
Yeah.
the same, but you know what I mean.
I knew we were doing our like look aheads. I had you. Did you say you had Tech -1 or whatever? What was that?
I don't know. Hold on. Now you can make me pull up power ratings.
I don't know what it was. I know we like went over all of them, like the day of.
Tech Oregon?
Yeah.
On a neutral? Is I have Tech by 4, which I think is probably what line
On
you're going to
par.
see. It's gonna be really.
On par.
I don't know if it'll get to 4. It may be 3.5. I would bet. But yeah, I'd be interested.
I guess I could. Yeah. I don't know, dude.
It may be lower. It may be.
It could be. I just think the steam. I think people are going to be a lot. I think the public might be more on Tech than we think.
I see. I was thinking it would be the other way.
And it very well could be. Depending on how that first game goes, it very well could be.
I have this one at a pick. So 2 different models. One's a pick. The other is Texas Tech. So we're going to see someone -1 more than likely.
My semifinal future for this game specifically was Oregon to not make the semifinal.
Yeah, and then you just play that with Tech.
Exactly.
Yep, that makes sense.
I had that for like -108 or something like that around there. I thought the value was good enough just because I don't know, man. It's just the defense is nuts. But again, until we see them versus an actual offense that can play true to who they are and know what they want to do versus Big 12 teams who don't and who are actually healthy for that matter.
Facing any team that can throw a ball forward.
Basically. Pretty much. Which will be interesting. I think it's like I said, that's why it's my favorite game. But for the price, it is why I took it. As of right now, it's my only one. There was a couple more that I'm looking into just for value purposes. I think specifically you have to look at Miami. Miami is a really good value play in terms of anything. I've seen a lot of people playing on the Natty right now at like 27-1, which I think is a great number.
They're the lowest Power 5 team.
Yeah.
Oklahoma is, but yeah, Miami's right there.
I think that would be worth it a little bit.
Sure. It'd be hard to hedge.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't. It would be. It definitely would be. Considering the quarterfinal game, and then again in the semifinal, they're going to be dogs regardless.
I mean, even if they beat, if they beat A&M, which obviously is a possibility, they would be. roughly a
Put
touchdown
them
dog.
4? Really?
Yeah, about a touchdown dog against Ohio State.
I would probably take it.
I would probably take if it was under a touchdown. But still, like that's what minus 350 money line for
Yeah.
Miami
Right.
or for Ohio
Right.
State. So that one's just a hard hedge. You kind of just have to let that one play out.
Like I said, a lot of it is just more of a value option. More
I
so, I
mean,
don't
yeah,
know. Just considering we already have money on Bama, I wouldn't touch it. Maybe you can probably play Oklahoma in that case, or just keep fading them until they lose, I guess.
you could
But
you could play Oklahoma or take Indiana to win the Natty, and then if Bama wins
also true.
in Oklahoma against Oklahoma, I would leave that one for. I wouldn't play Oklahoma personally, because then you're just gonna have to keep hedging it, which would be dumb.
Just because the line
So
is, yeah.
yeah, I would play Indiana to make the Natty, and then you can win either way with that, and then hedge on Tech if you need, or Tech or Oregon if you need to, the winner of that. If you
Also
wanted
true.
to. I was going to
In
say
the
for
semi.
your Oregon not to win the semifinal. Another way to look at it would be taking taking Texas Tech to make the Natty
To make, yeah.
or make
They
the
have the
semifinal,
appearance
and then
ones. Yeah.
betting Oregon would be the other way to do that. So yeah, just alternatives.
There's options. There
I
really
played
is.
it. I just played Indiana to win the Natty. I think this year's 8-9 is way easier than last year's 8-9. I also think
Yeah.
a rematch with Oregon, I would like that for Indiana on a neutral. I mean, they went and beat them at Autzen with everyone healthy. Like Oregon was healthy at that point. That was earlier in the
Yep.
season. Pretty much was healthy. I know they were missing some guys, but and then I played Georgia because I think they have a free walk to the semifinal, which at that point I would hedge with Ohio State. So I've one on each side of the bracket, which is what I did last year too. So
I don't think it's a bad option, obviously.
I think the most likely scenario is Indiana, Georgia. Personally,
I think so too.
that would be, if I was making a bracket, that would be my 2. So
I might take Georgia just because I think they are 3rd.
yeah,
If I'm not mistaken.
Plus 550 right now.
Yeah, that's
plus 600
in a bracket of 12 teams versus a team that they've already beaten at home. Allegedly, of course, speaking, if Ole Miss beats Tulane, which obviously they should. Semifinals an easy hedge at that point if Ohio State were to win, obviously.
Yep.
Or Miami
Yep.
even, I guess, because you basically get them good
Or
value
A&M.
at that point as well. Whichever, yeah. Either way, whoever they play, I would expect to be a dog.
They'll be a dog, but
Ohio State's probably going to be a pick, I would assume, right? Or at least a 2.
They would be a dog to Ohio State. They would be roughly a pick against the other 2.
Whew.
If they play Ohio State, it'll be about a touchdown, I would bet. Roughly. Yeah.
I don't know.
I have it at about a touchdown. So yeah, that's why. I mean, it would suck to have to try and hedge with Ohio State, but
again,
the thing with Ohio State, the entire thing with Ohio State is we still really don't. I still don't know. Like,
I don't know if that proved anything to me for them at that point.
I can't tell if Ryan Day even wanted to win. That field goal just totally showed me he did not want to win. Like, he just didn't care.
That was just such a coward move. It was weird.
Yeah,
after the entire game, the other 4 trips, I mean, obviously you kick the 1, but the other 3, I mean, you're going for that. So
yeah,
I don't
that team
know.
will continue to put me in a pretzel all year. I have no idea.
Questionable. They might have been playing chess. I don't know. I don't know if they thought that they were going to
There
get
was
an easier path. I don't know. Honestly, if I'm wanted to, I would much rather be the 2 in this case, I think.
I'd rather be the 1. I would rather get either a
I just
absolutely
still don't
limited
think
Oklahoma team or a Bama team that's hurt and has played a game over A&M and Miami. Miami's defense and A&M's defense are both really good.
Oh, I
Like,
know.
Ohio State's not going to put up 30 against
I
either of
just think
those
that
teams.
Texas game might have exposed a little bit for A&M though.
Maybe, but Miami's playing just as good of ball as
Oh yeah, I know. I mean,
these teams are.
that's why I took them there.
Yeah. I mean, you're telling I 100% think the 1 is way easier this year. I either get Oklahoma who can't throw a forward pass. Yeah, defense is elite, but is it better than Indiana's? I'd say it's pretty equal. So
It's
you get
probably, yeah.
you get the better offense, or you play Bama who cannot run the ball, which just gives Indiana's DC exactly what Oklahoma's DC does or Georgia's DC does. And then Alabama's defense really good, but it's not Ohio State's. I think the 2's harder because you also play Georgia if you make it that far.
That's
Indiana
fair.
plays
Okay,
Texas Tech, who was flawed.
Yeah.
As
After
much as we
fact,
like Texas Tech,
yes.
like I think Tech's good, but until
they can finish a drive.
It's the red zone issues, though. Yeah, finishing drives. Like, they're so bad.
I know we talked about it, but they did kick. We looked at it, and they kicked 11 total field goals in their 2 games against BYU, which was the only 2 meaningful games that they essentially won. In Arizona State,
Oregon's defense is better. Indiana's defense is better. Ohio State's defense is better. Georgia's defense is better.
After conclusion, yes, I would. Yeah, BYU was just bad.
What you're telling me is take the under in every game they play.
Probably.
That's probably. What
I didn't. I mean,
looking at some of these matchups we're going to get in the quarterfinals, I think you're going to get some pretty low scoring games. I'd have to guess, like Tech, Oregon.
I was going to say that. Yeah,
low scoring. I think Indiana, whoever they play, Ohio State.
A lot of people might look into the sides more.
Yeah, Ohio State, whoever they play in the quarter could be a high scoring game because both those offenses are fun. And then Georgia Ole Miss will probably attempt to be high scoring. I don't know if it will become that, but I would lean towards that being more high scoring.
I don't think it's going to be a replicate of what it was in Athens. I don't think it's going to be a 40-30, but
no, I'd say it's
maybe 20-30.
Yeah. And
sounds more.
Ole Miss will be very interesting to see how they look against Tulane.
That's what I'm just nervous about. I don't want any part in that game. I more just want to kind of scope it out. But then again, their strategy could very well just be advance. Like I don't really think they necessarily want to. I don't want to say give too much because obviously it's not like they've seen them before. But
I think
it is a new look. Either way.
The one way I'll look at that game is a Tulane under team total prop because the defense didn't change. So
no. Yeah,
and we watched them destroy that defense, their offense earlier this year. So that's definitely something I'll be looking at.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much it.
Yeah, I think the games are going to be really good outside of the 2 potentially bad first round matchups. I think every other game is going to be really fun in some sort of way. I think
that's why I said the scheduling was just off for me. I don't know. It's just maybe it's just like the entertainment purpose for me.
let me give you a little explanation on why this potentially is why they did it this way. So obviously Friday night they were going to put one of the good games because it's a primetime Friday night game.
Yeah.
So they want as many eyeballs as possible on that game. Now ESPN gets the contract rights for the games. They subcontract it to TNT. So ESPN obviously went in and was like, we're going to take the two best games. So I think what they did is they looked at the Sunday, or sorry, the Saturday for NFL and looked and saw, oh, Philly, Washington is at 4 p.m. on Saturday, and Green Bay, Chicago is at 7:20 on Saturday. And they were
Yeah.
like, just absolutely tank the numbers on those games. No one wants to watch G5, which real college football fans want to watch G5 games. But
I will be watching it. Yeah.
my point is, everyone's going to watch the NFL anyways. Why would we not put our two best games by themselves in slots that have nothing going against them other than college basketball? More than likely
Right.
on that Saturday or that Friday, I think is why they did that. So then you're going to tank the numbers on the G5 games, but like you were going to tank them anyways with the NFL. They were going to suck if they were in, like it would have sucked if they were at 11 anyways. So I think that's why they did that. And it makes sense to me why they did that, because everyone's going to watch those NFL games instead.
Right.
Or at least have the NFL game on, and then you'll be watching.
I'll be dual screening it.
Yeah, you'll have a
Like,
second
I'll do the
TV
two.
or second screen up. Which I haven't looked into what the college basketball games are for that week, but that's
I haven't
that's what I gathered out of that.
That does make sense, because honestly, before even looking at the dates and everything like that, I completely forgot about the subcontract at TNT. So
Yes.
that, I mean, it does make sense.
Because last
It
year
was just underwhelming.
The TNT
I guess.
games were SMU, Penn State, and
Yeah. Yep.
Who's the other TNT game?
It
It was a 12 seed last year.
was my mind. Who? It wasn't.
Was it?
No.
Was it Boise?
Boise and Penn. No, it wasn't Boise and Penn State.
Or no, Boise got
Boise
a bye
and
last year, didn't they?
Boise was 4.
Yeah, because they didn't play them. Yeah, it was Clemson. No, Arizona State versus whoever the 12 seed
No,
was. I don't know.
that was the first. That's gonna bother me. What the heck?
Who was that?
I have no idea.
What was the True TV game last year?
I genuinely have no idea. Clemson was the 12. Oh, it was on TNT, that game.
That's what I thought.
I thought that game was on ESPN.
It was Clemson. Who?
Clemson, Texas.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because that coincided with the Steelers-Ravens game.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Because last year they put TNT 11, 3:30, and then the night game was Tennessee, Ohio State, which was on ABC, which coincided. I don't think there was a NFL game that night, if I remember. There might have been, but I can't remember what it was. But anyways, that's what I think they did.
Just wanted to see Kyle Field at night for a playoff atmosphere. That would have been pretty sick.
Saturday basketball is the biggest games. St. John's, Kentucky's at 11:30. UNC, Ohio State's at 2. Houston, Arkansas's at 4:30. Auburn, Purdue at 5:30. Tech, Duke, 7. So, yeah. Pretty decent college basketball slate, too. Anyways.
I was wondering, because I knew it had to be something weird. So, yeah, there's your bracket. There's your matchups. There's your times. Obviously, we'll preview those in the coming weeks for that.
That'll be next Wednesday.
There's a lot.
Thursday. Next Wednesday or Thursday will be college football first round previews.
Yeah, there's a lot coming. I'm not going to give you guys the entire full schedule. But when we said every bowl game, I mean, we legitimately meant it, and we're staying true to that and committing to it. And we'll have a pick and everything, not necessarily every bet, maybe? Do we want to have every bet, or do we just want to have a pick?
I may not have a bet and everything. I'll have something I'm looking at.
I think a bet in every game would be
win.
fun though, but between the three of us.
Do agree.
Like literally just with everything. Like literally anything. It could be one of those like game special props even. Like it doesn't even have to be a side, doesn't have to be a total. Literally anything. I just think it would be sick.
Discuss.
Keep track. Yeah, that'll be behind the scenes stuff. But you guys will know, obviously, whether you want to tail or not. Obviously, we'll post it in the cord.
We may do. I think that'd be fun. We could do it if everyone, all three of us, have to pick something, and then we can do records after. They don't even have to be like us actually putting money on it, but we'll at least have a pick in every game, and we'll calculate records of how we did in every game. That'll work. We can do that.
I'm more than likely not playing bowl season at full unit or full capacity either, just because of all the opt-outs and stuff. I usually do that half or even quarter, honestly, just because some of this stuff is so last minute. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. College football playoff, I'll do full unit, and then if I feel really good about like a number I got, I'll do full unit on bowl games. But
I did do a full
half stuff.
My 2 bowl games that I had right now, I did do full. I will say that only because of opt-ins or people that are actually confirmed to be playing already. Which I think we're on the same side of both of those already. If it's the one I'm thinking of. So,
yes.
And then of course, college basketball coming soon, 2026. So we'll have something. We'll have more on that, obviously, and whatnot.
I think it's time.
Huh?
I think it's time
to end it. Okay, cool. That'll be the.
No. Not time to end it. I believe.
Am I missing something?
You have some thoughts about something.
Am I missing something?
I think you might be.
I don't have as much as people think I do. Is the thing. It's the same stuff that I pretty much like already said in the Discord.
Well, not everyone's in the Discord, Kate.
That's also true. They should be.
I agree. Join Hammer.
It's free. And you get it. Never mind. I won't say what we do in there. You just have to find it for yourself. How about that?
Yo.
Yeah. Rankings came out on Sunday. I was watching on my phone in a Texas Roadhouse eating fried pickles.
Hell yeah.
Dude, what a way to find out.
Yeah, no, that's elite. That is awesome. I don't think you could pick a better option, actually.
No. That's like, what do they call it? Like 10 out of 10 bleed out spots. Like that was pretty much my spot.
Yeah.
Rankings came out, and obviously we know within the first 10 in terms of the poll, and then obviously the 12 in the bracket. I don't necessarily think it's like, I don't know where you stand on it. I partially.
I mean, there's a reason I haven't said anything about it.
I think we're both 50-50, honestly. I like to think that I'm 50-50 because there's 2 sides to it.
A bias or what? Or about this decision?
We have a fan perspective, and then I have the college football logistical brain answer, obviously.
Yeah.
So I don't know which one I want to go first, but actually, I can start with the logistical answer, obviously. There's a reason that we talked about what was happening and what was going to happen. Literally, I just want a 2-hour horn specifically because we tracked this from all the way from 4 weeks ago.
We both played Notre Dame to miss the playoff.
When they were 10 spots apart.
Yep.
And the moment that next week hit, place. Wasted no time. Placed. I placed it twice.
Yeah.
One was road for a bad number.
Road was coming.
It's just, it is what it is. Point blank, period. It sucks at the end of the day. But obviously the logistical part of it, of the committee's perspective and college football as a whole perspective, it's pretty simple of what they're asked to do, and that's win your game. Right? That's pretty much all you got to do at the end of the day is win your game. They did not win their game. Ultimately, you have all these other arguments saying, oh, but they're completely different teams and whatnot, and they had the common opponent, and that was back in August. Okay. And who did so-and-so play versus who did so-and-so play? How did so-and-so do versus that? Or how did they do versus that? They did better in pretty much every single common opponent. They were not better in every single metric, only because of the strength of the schedule. You're not going to get a better strength of schedule by playing the bottom ACC teams in the barrel throughout the year. Like, no duh, you're going to be third in FPI. First of all, they don't even use FPI. So I don't know why people are bringing that up in any argument period. They don't use any of those metrics at all. And it's quite dumb that even I saw, like, the best part was like the beat writers from the university talking about nothing but FPI metrics.
Like, yeah, I want it to be known that if we used BCS rankings, Notre Dame would be out.
Still.
And Alabama would be in.
Yeah. Although, like, the people that, even though, like, going back to the resumes and stuff, they lost pretty much every single resume battle you put them up against. There's your answer. They're just using what they were given. The whole putting them up and on a steady incline for those last, like, 4 weeks, and I'll get into that, obviously, but that's pretty much it as far as the college, like, the logistical answer you get. Win your game when you're supposed to, I guess, or don't fumble a game-tying snap. The holding call is one thing. Make your extra point. that's pretty much it. Which they still couldn't do, apparently, as the season progressed.
Yeah. Before you rant about your,
I don't want to call it a rant. I really don't, because
rant,
I don't want to be. I don't want to look down upon like that.
Yeah, but before you go to the Notre Dame fan perspective, I'll go from a absolutely non-biased. I don't care about either of those. Like, I care about both these teams, but like I just want to watch good college football kind of thing.
True.
We talked about it. We thought this was coming, and I think what the committee tried to do for 4 weeks is incrementally bump Miami, but attempt to never get Miami and Notre Dame next to each other, so they never had to do this, so that Notre Dame never ever was put in this position. What sucks is that BYU got boat raced. You had other teams lose, and at the end of the day, Miami's resume was better. At the end of the day, Miami won. If you can be mad about how the committee handled everything, you can be mad that there shouldn't be Tuesday college football rankings. You can be mad that you feel like the committee lied to you. And to be honest, all those things are true. There should not be Tuesday rankings every week. The committee did lie to you. They did. At the end of the day, they did. Does it suck that the third best power rated team in the country is not in the playoff? Yes. Are they a different team than they were in August? I don't know if you can answer that question. I don't know if you can say yes.
Good team. Yeah, no. It's the same thing for like the other people that we've talked about. Yeah.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, this is something that guarantees us going to 16 because no one wants to deal with this again. I would say this is probably a one-off scenario. I think the people getting mad that there's 2 group of 5 teams in right now are ridiculous. I think you shouldn't have a writing perspective. I don't think you should have a following if you're going to get mad that 2 group of 5 teams are in. I don't think you're a fan of this sport if you think 2 group of 5 teams shouldn't be in. with how this season went. If you think the ACC is not a group of 5 league this year, you are a joke. Also, the ACC screwed themselves over in this by not allowing Miami to play in the conference championship. If
Also
all of this
true.
could have been solved if Miami and Virginia played on Saturday, because one of those teams was getting in regardless. So the ACC screwed themselves. The ACC outside of those two teams was a joke, and even then, Virginia is a joke. They would have been. Here's a funny thing: Tulane and JMU are power rated higher than Virginia and Duke by everybody. So stop getting mad about group of 5 teams. Stop getting mad about inclusion. You want to see Texas? You did. They lost to Florida. You want to see Vandy? They lost to Texas. They lost to Alabama. Win your games and then complain. The only team that has ever had a gripe about being left out of the college football playoff since its inclusion is Florida State because they went undefeated. They won all their games. They did everything they were asked to, and they were still left out because their quarterback. Everyone else, I don't want to hear Notre Dame fans cry that you're 10-2 and got left out of a 12-team college football playoff. Go 11-1, win 12. That's on you. That's on your players. That's not on the committee. Should the committee be better? Yes. At the end of the day, is the committee actually doing anything? No. They get a computer model that spits out the rankings for them, and then they go on TV, and that's why you get the answers you get when they're asked those questions. So no one's defending the committee. We should just have a computer do it. We shouldn't have rankings until the Tuesday before conference championship, and then we should have one on Sunday. And I think those are the only 2 rankings you should get throughout the entire year. The whole Alabama shouldn't have made the playoff thing is stupid. That is dumb. You are a absolutely casual fan if you think Alabama should not have been in. They were the best team in the SEC because they were the number 1 seed in the SEC. Oh, but they have 3 losses. Yeah, one of the losses was in their 9th SEC game that they did not have to play in. They were given the opportunity because they were so good in the regular season. Oh, well, they lost to Florida State. They have the worst loss. Yeah, they also have the best win this year. The best. They won 5 ranked games in a row. That whole thing's dumb. I don't want to hear Oklahoma shouldn't be in the playoff. They won 10 games. They beat Alabama. This whole thing is just dumb. Everyone getting mad that BYU drops, but no one else drops. BYU got boat raced again in the same exact way. You can't argue Alabama and BYU because Alabama beat Georgia earlier this year. BYU didn't beat Texas Tech. They were never close. So yeah, BYU deserved a drop. Ohio State swapped with Indiana. Makes sense. Alabama doesn't drop. I think that makes sense. People who got mad that Alabama jumped over Notre Dame a week ago, Alabama's resume is better. It is.
Yeah, that should have told you everything right then and there. That was never.
Yeah.
And again, we said that.
and I told Cade this when the rankings came out Tuesday night. I placed Notre Dame to miss the playoff at that point because there was 2 ways for them to not get in. And it was BYU winning or it was BYU losing. It didn't matter. They were not going to be in no matter what. And if you're a Notre Dame fan and you didn't see the writing on the wall, you're oblivious, and that's on you. That's not on the committee. That's not on resumes. That's not on FPI and whatever the hell you want to talk about. That's on you for getting mad that this was always going to happen. You have to win games. You have to. That's at the end of the day. If you have a ranked team across from you, you have to win that game. Notre Dame opting out of their bowl game is just petty.
I laughed.
It's petty.
Yeah.
I know bowl games are meaningless now for most teams. Most of these top teams that are just outside the playoff. I get that. At least give your freshmen and sophomores 30 practice days. Come on. I think that's stupid. I think you're just being petty, and it's the 80. I think the people who say that they shouldn't join a conference are dumb. Notre Dame is the only school in America that can operate independently and make money. Why would they go to a conference? It doesn't matter. They don't need to be in one. I can tell you right now, you can change the logo on Notre Dame and make it any other logo, and the same thing would have happened. It's not because it was Notre Dame. If
Yeah, it
anything,
doesn't. Yeah,
I was so surprised they did it because it was Notre Dame.
I think a lot of people were too. Like a lot.
And that's why you had so many people shocked when it happened, is because it was the Notre Dame logo, and they make so much money. They would have made so much money in this. Um, so I think that's another thing. The whole ACC stuff that's going on with Notre Dame, I they're gonna like the ACC is gonna push a member institution that's in every sport over Notre Dame. So I think that's dumb. But like Notre Dame's not joining a conference. Like it's not happening. They don't care. They don't want to be on one. They are totally cool with how they do their scheduling, with how they operate as a financial institution, as a academic institution. They're fine. So I don't. I have a gripe with how the committee does the things that they do, the answers that they give. I do not have a gripe with. I think at the end of the day, it ended up being the right decision, and I think if you're arguing, oh God, did I get booted? What just happened? Sorry, my
You're still here.
screen just went. My screen just went black. You'll have to cut that for a second. What was I saying? Oh, if you're mad about how the committee ranked the teams, you're a Notre Dame fan. If you're mad at how the committee handled the entire year of ranking the teams, you're a college football fan. That would be how I would end that. But I'm not mad because they got it right.
I'm not mad. I'm really
You're
not.
mad.
I'm really not.
I'm just kidding.
It's hard for me not to be though. I like the fan part of me, obviously.
What are
But
you
the
mad
fan
at?
part of me, the fan part of me is
What
just
would you-
wrong.
What would you be? Yeah, that's my thing. What would you be mad at? The committee?
If I had one thing to be mad at, or I don't want to say I am aggravated. I'm not necessarily angry, like pissed off. Like I can go in that building and just punch everyone. Like no, like it's stupid. If there is one thing at all, the process.
Yes, which everyone's
And again,
mad at. You're not.
we
Notre Dame's not the
pointed.
team.
No, yeah, it's not necessarily
Everyone's
the
mad.
fact of where or it's not like why it happened. It's how it happened, I guess.
Yeah, agreed.
And at no point I didn't necessarily feel like I was lied to because we knew it was happening.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't make it. I don't want to say that we got blue balled from being in a spot when all along we knew. Like I said, it's just there's a reason that we talked about it for so long and that we placed. I wouldn't have put money on it if I didn't think it was going to happen.
And the argument I have with it is, I think the committee just screwed up initially, and Notre Dame shouldn't have been that high at the first rankings.
It should.
And Miami shouldn't have been that low.
100%. It's like we said, they should have. Notre Dame should have started at like what 1920, whenever it was put out initially, whatever it was, and instead you're finding them at what like 13, 12.
They were 8.
They were top 10. It was bad.
Huh? Why'd that go out? I'm having technical difficulties, everybody. That face was amazing. Where was I?
I don't even know. I forget.
Oh, yeah, I got it. We're good. The biggest gripe I have is that the teams just should have been ranked differently at the start, but also we just shouldn't have rankings. So,
yeah, it's
I think at the end of my question to you would be if this had happened 3 weeks ago and you knew you weren't going to make the playoff 3 weeks ago, would you be as mad?
That's what I'm saying. Nobody would be mad at all. Yeah. Like they would have had the idea. I mean, they would have been like maybe aggravated and said the same arguments about different teams, but no, like the entire thing is fixed. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that would be my biggest question: is if it had happened earlier, would it have mattered as much?
And it wouldn't at all.
Yeah, that would be what I would say. I think at the end of the day, they got it right. The way they did it was wrong. I think there will be, because obviously we do not have a contract signed throughout I mean, we still don't have one signed for next year. I think we're going to see major changes.
1000%.
I think 16 will be a thing next year. I'd be very interested if there is committee rankings throughout the entire year. Because you have ESPN talking heads that are talking about how there shouldn't be rankings. So I think that's going to resonate with the people that are negotiating these things.
Right. Yeah, like I said, again, going back to it, not upset with the outcome. Obviously, it sucks as a fan. Sure, I'd love to see your team look for a shot at a national championship. Like, it's stupid. Who wouldn't, obviously? But then again, we had money on this for a reason. We were betting on this for a reason because there was no way that they weren't coming to this conclusion. Like, there's literally zero way. They could have avoided it if that's what they were hoping for, which, like you said, they probably were because they didn't think they were.
I think they tried to avoid it as much as possible until it happened. I think that's why we got to where we were.
Unfortunately, happened the week of.
Yeah.
It sucks, obviously, as a fan, just because, I mean, you got to think, I mean, you're watching some of these guys for the last time, obviously, and that's what hurt the most, obviously, is that you're not going to see Love get his shot. And I know that he's got eligibility, and people think that he might come back. I don't know how true some stuff is. I've talked to a couple people. Supposedly, he's hinting already. I'll give you inside scoops whenever I find them.
Top 10 pick's going to stay as a running back? Really?
I didn't say that. That's what.
I have a hard time believing that.
I already do too. Trust me. And I don't know.
Yeah, it sucks for Jadarion. It sucks for Jeremiah. It sucks for the rest of those
That's
seniors.
just the fan aspect. But it's just... And I'd probably understand why they feel the way that I would feel 20,000 times worse if I was one of the players. I mean, if they ranked you inside the top 10 for the entirety of the poll and then just strip it at the end, I mean, yeah, that would probably irk me too. But second point, college football fan, fanatic of the sport, talking here, that should hopefully make you want to prove yourself in a bowl game.
No.
Now, that did not happen. And then I have two sides to this as well, because obviously I've put so much time. This is where majority of my frustration came from, first of all, actually. And if you saw me on Twitter, and if you saw whatever else I said, yeah, I was pissed at the fact that they didn't play in the bowl. But then I took time, obviously, and I thought about it more and all this nonsense. Obviously, the cons of this is development. You don't necessarily get to see what 2026 looks like, I guess, after the fact or before the portal, before other recruits and whatnot. I don't know. As from the opt-outs and all the meaningless stuff, I don't necessarily, it sucks, but bowl season is dying, as much as I hate to say it. The reality of this, and they should, they should be called soft, and they should be called whatever else you can think of. And the reality is, for this program, for who they are and what they are, it's playoff or bust. It's quarterfinals or bust. It's semis or bust. It's natty or bust. That's the standard of the program that they say they are, at least. They were obviously told in every ranking that they were in, and then now they're out. I mean, then again, I personally wouldn't necessarily want to play in a game sponsored by a dancing Pop-Tart in an exhibition game if I was just stripped like that either. If I got to be completely honest with you. that would be iffy. The other part of me was how much freaking BYU was talking on Twitter, and that now I can't actually see what would have happened. That pisses me off too, because I wanted nothing more than just to shut those people up, because they're bad. I'm not. The thing with the whole ESPN ordeal and people saying that they're blaming ESPN for that, and I get it. And they don't. Why would they go to a game that's owned by them and make them a bunch of money when you have all your top players out? You get a jump on the portal. You get what the main thing, in my opinion, probably would be is working on a contract extension, which is already in the works. I've already talked to multiple people about that. He's getting extended. I don't know when, but it's happening. I actually, it's probably happening really soon. Now that I say that, and I've heard the numbers high. This is hard to talk about because it's touchy. I don't know, especially with the whole ESPN deal, because I don't. They say that obviously they have no control over the playoff process or anything like that. Obviously they're upset that they're not playing in a bowl game after weeks of no conference affiliation, using them as pretty much like a pawn. It felt like the ACC network played the Miami game 13 times, guys, on repeat. That was 48 hours straight during.
They were showcasing both of them.
How nice of them, right? But now it's a bad look that they don't want to serve ESPN's best interest by playing it in a meaningless game. Like, they're not affiliated with the playoff. I mean, they're destined to become essentially the Pro Bowl of what the NFL is, which is dead. I don't necessarily think that we can just pretend that these guys should play in an exhibition game that puts them at risk and benefits everybody but themselves, essentially. Like, you don't do that in the NFL. You don't do that in FCS. I haven't seen it in Division II or Division III, but obviously you draw the line in Division I, which is weird to me. And if teams want to play, go for it. I mean, like, all the Sun Belt teams, all of the group of fives, like, who actually are taking their shot for it, good for them, go for it. Unless if you have like your own motive with that, but to think, I don't know. It's a weird mess. And what the ACC and all that nonsense was, I think they're going to terminate the contract. Like, honestly, I do think that they do. I think they just pay it. I've never in my life, because you look at Notre Dame, golden child, pretty much at that point, right? Like, they're just freaking looked at like they're some like scumbags private school of the earth, like, the douchebags of high school kind of thing is what it seems like. And obviously when they don't get their way, they come firing back with all the money disputes, and I don't really even care what the number is. It feels like they're just going to pay it, at least from what it sounds like. And obviously that number is in probably close to the hundreds, if I gotta say, to eliminate that contract is extending all the way for another 10 years to 2036. And if they do join any sort of conference whatsoever, it's not going to be the ACC anymore, which I could care less about, honestly. But what Notre Dame just did, it pretty much just did the middle finger salute and said a big, gigantic F you to the network and to the conference. It's the only part that makes it laughable is them throwing a pity party after the fact. It's their own fault of what they did, obviously. And like you said, you just got to win your game. However, if you follow the money, if you follow the business side of things, which I do because I'm I'm a psychopath fan. The choice makes sense, honestly. You have your own TV deal that is getting you over $50 million a year. And your AD, who is a former chairman, who left ESPN and who used to work with NBC. Meanwhile, ESPN puts up a 10-year deal for $3 billion with the SEC last year. And all the people connecting the dots with 5 SEC BS. Stop. It's nothing to do with anything, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's probably, I don't know. Like ESPN extended the deal with ACC for $3.7 billion. And that's the deal I was referring to when it's through 2036. And it's just, there's no reason for them to drive the viewers and advertisers to an ESPN game, especially since there's no growing belief at all that the ESPN personnel, whatever, may have campaigned at the expense of Notre Dame. I don't know. A lot of the alumni, like if you think they owe anybody anything whatsoever, you're out of your mind, and you're very business savvy. And I don't think the beef itself, I want to call it beef because it's pretty much what it's turned into apparently. That whole permanent damage to the ACC, I have no idea what the heck is going to happen like within these next I don't know. So naturally, yes, that if you wanted them to join a conference, that's too bad because it sure is not happening now. That's for sure. I think it kind of answered that one. Because in other sports, they are a part of that conference. So at the other hand of that, though, the other chairman and the other people, they're pretty much backing up the ACC's decision and what to lobby for Miami's case, for Duke's case, whenever they were promoting that. So my question is, I don't think they're going to reevaluate the business partnership with it. It's got to be the Big Ten, though, if it's anything. And maybe Fox, ESPN's biggest rival, is the primary rights holder for the Big Ten at that point. Dare I say they just pretty much say screw it, ESPN forever, and just do what nobody thought that they would. Now, this is speaking relatively way down the road, because I'm going to put a scenario into your head now of something that's been very behind the scenes that is very underlooked. And that is the equity deal within the Big Ten, where Michigan and USC both, which are Notre Dame rivals and essentially some of the two biggest brands in the sport at that point. What if I told you they might be going independent with them? Not soon. Down the road. I don't know. Have you heard about that at all?
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
The chances of it are very low. I'm going to say, yeah. It's like, I'm not...
They can't function without a conference. The only team that can do it's Notre Dame.
No.
Because of the contract deals.
That's exactly. The whole gimmick of that is just... Basically, they want to make a deal where a big company of an investors give them money worth more than like $2.5 billion. And essentially, naturally, most of the Big Ten goes, we'll take the money, but Michigan and USC, it gives away too much control. It's not necessarily fair and essentially what they've told the Big Ten now, if they try to force the deal, they're going to leave, quote unquote. And obviously that's scared the Big Ten enough to where they have put the deal on hold. And so now I guess they're pretty much working on it. They have 10 years to renew this thing. which for everybody that's talking about this, saying that Notre Dame, Michigan, and USC are forming some crazy, stupid mega conference independently. No.
No.
People think they're probably like the biggest brains in the world with that too, which is the funniest part.
They'd all just be independent by themselves.
Which, sure, and like in terms of a brand, it would immediately become obviously the biggest, but Notre Dame already has 15 to 20 million per home game given from the TV deal. The only thing with that, you'd need enough of the other schools to have a full schedule, legitimate conference, and obviously 3 teams is not going to cut that. So you have the TV networks and the playoff committees. It might be too independent from the rest of the sport, and obviously it's going to, leave a lot of the traditional stuff behind at that point. This would be like an Avengers kind of thing. If that's like, I don't know. That's the best way I can kind of see it. But again, the likelihood of stuff like that actually happening, that's just stuff that's going on. And it's not, I don't think it is happening. You have multiple years in advance before that actually goes down. More of the story. I'm not
win your games.
upset. But yeah, it's what we said at the very beginning. Point blank period. You want to be in, you want to make your case, make the extra point, defend the pass, intercept the pass on the 3rd and goal. I don't know. That's it sucks. It is what it is. They're not going to put up a betting model and saying, well, Notre Dame would have been favored over so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so, and so-and-so if they were to play, so they should be. That's not, no. No. As much as I would love that to be the case, no. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, agreed.
But with that being said, committee changes are coming soon. Format changes is coming soon. And the whole rivalry between Notre Dame and the ACC is about to be just straight cinema with popcorn watching. So I'm excited for that one, honestly. That'll be a decent one as it unfolds, supposedly. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing right now, really. I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So that'll
Yeah.
pretty much do for today. We will preview Army, Navy, and the 2 bowl games Saturday.
There's 1 bowl game Saturday, but there's a couple bowl games early next week that we'll preview.
Is it Washington and Boise Saturday?
Washington, Boise Saturday, yeah.
That's 8 p.m. or something like that. So
yep.
We get a standalone college football game. 2 of them.
2.
So yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. Obviously previewing that. I don't think we're going to do the morning huddles. It's going to be pretty hard during this time, specifically because a lot of these bowl games are played during the holiday and weekday of the holiday, not necessarily a weekend. And to be completely honest with you, I'm not going to preview Sun Belt bowl games that hard. I don't know how degen you want to be, but we'll preview on the pod, but I'm not making a separate. I don't think we're going to be doing a separate show for it on Saturday mornings. So morning huddles for now, I think will be done until potentially college basketball comes around for conference play. Then we'll do college basketball Saturdays, I think. Depending on everybody's schedules, of course. That's just up in the air. It's ideas, whatever. But yeah.
Yeah.
There's your so-called rant. I don't even call it a rant, really. It's just brain dead people making weird decisions with their fingers on social media, saying what they want to say, but quite literally make no sense doing it. So, the fan base needs a reality check. They got one. You're not the daddy's money kind of kid, whatever anymore. So, yeah, win your game. Done. We'll see you guys later on this week and go from there. So enjoy bowl season and peace.
Dose.